Hi, I'm Amber from Influence Updates on Instagram, and tonight I'm going to be talking about 3 huge stories that have happened this week in Australian influencer world. They are Victoria Devine, Chloe Fisher, and a big influencer who is no longer an influencer and is facing charges for child torture, amongst other things. So, the first story, as I said, was Victoria Devine, who I saw today. Very cool. We're not friends or anything, but I just like seeing influencers in the wild, you know? Right, so this week, White Fox Real Estate, not to be confused with White Fox Boutique clothing brand. So White Fox Real Estate, they are Melbourne-based, I believe. They erected a billboard and it says, White Fox making homes more expensive since 2017. And this got a lot of negative attention, I suppose, on TikTok. One user, I'll look up her name, give her the credit, M. Reedman on TikTok. She posted this with the caption, maybe not the message to be gloating about in the middle of a housing crisis, babes. So yeah, she's saying that they shouldn't be gloating that they have been making houses more expensive since 2017 when we are in the middle of a housing crisis. But Victoria Devine then stepped in. So she has then, the owner of White Fox Real Estate, his name is Marty Fox. He has then reposted this and he has added his own narration. Oh, it's a bit blurry for me to read it, but sorry, what have I written here? Oh yeah, he's just shared it saying that this has become a national news story and it's causing debate. Victoria Devine then replied to him via DM and said, the people talking shit aren't your target demographic. They're idiots. I got it immediately. Brilliant. And this did not go down well. So I get what she's saying. Like, she's saying this isn't aimed at buyers. This is aimed at the sellers. So White Fox are trying to get people to sell their houses with their real estate agency. And they're saying, we've been making more homes more expensive since 2017. Like, we are getting the best price. We're getting more than the best price. And we've been doing that consistently since 2017. I'm guessing they started in 2017. And yeah, they're saying, come and list with us and we will get the best price plus more. So yeah, it's aimed at sellers. And she's saying people who aren't the target demographic, they're idiots, they didn't get it. But what this M. Reedman person is saying is that 90% of Victoria's target audience aren't in the 90% of Victoria's listeners are not in the target demographic. They're not idiots. They get what the ad is saying, but they're angry because it is gloating about the cost of living crisis that we are currently trapped in. And yeah, this is so true. It's true. People did get it and people are angry that we are trapped in this housing crisis and White Fox are bragging about it. So then, of course, Victoria posted a 6.5-minute apology to her Instagram, which has now been deleted. I have uploaded that to my TikTok because I knew it was going to get deleted. So yeah, if you do want to see it, it is on my TikTok. And yeah, I was quite impressed with her apology. I'll start by saying that, I think that she understood what people's feedback was. Like, you could tell from what she was saying that she understood. And yeah, I feel like you could tell that she'd really thought about it and she's like, yeah, I guess that was a really shit thing for me to say. Like, she was saying that, yeah, it is rude for me to say that. I wouldn't want my listeners to be thinking that they're idiots. She tries to financially empower women with her podcast, and calling anyone an idiot is not financially empowering them. She admitted that what she said was tone deaf and out of touch. And she also proved that she had okayed the DM with Marty Fox. So he had asked her, is it okay if I share this DM publicly? And she had said okay, because at the time she didn't realise it was offensive. She now understands that yes, it was offensive. And yeah, she has learnt from it, and that what she needs to understand is that the economy that she bought her house in is very different to the economy that we're living in today. There were a few interesting comments she made though. She mentioned, I was you. I understand what you're going through because I was you. Or, I don't know, maybe not that exact wording, but I thought it was quite interesting because, yeah, she's, a lot of people are saying that the apology was quite elitist. And, yeah, I thought that was quite funny that, yeah, she's kind of admitting, I was you, and now I'm more successful, I suppose. It's true. It's just funny to hear her say it. And also, it was quite funny that in the apology video, she did have a wrist stack, I suppose you would call it, with a Rolex watch and a Cartier bangle. And I've seen some comments saying that they estimate the value of those pieces to be around 50,000 Australian dollars, which to many people would be a significant house deposit, which is ironic given the situation. But yeah, that's about it really with that one. Let's see what people are saying. Sis, blue robe down. Blue robe down? As in I need to pull it down? I do have shorts on, I promise. They are just mini shorts. Probably looks like I'm not wearing pants. Oh, it looks kind of weird with the green. When I'm looking at the comments, I can see my own reflection. This is a comment. I have gone off Victoria after this incident. She seems to be more and more really judgmental and out of touch. Remarks from her and it just seems distasteful. Rubbed me the wrong way. Yeah, I think that a lot of people feel that way, and I think that Victoria knows that a lot of people in her target audience and a lot of listeners would be offended by what she said, and that is why she did the apology. I suppose if she didn't feel that she needed to, she wouldn't have. Like, if it had have just been like a small thing, but yeah, she understands that this was a big problem. Oh, Marty Fox was a judge on The Block. I didn't know that. I understand what the advertisement was implying, but her commentary was just so unprofessional and the apology completely scrambling to suck up. Yep, okay. I think that is probably quite common that people think that. She sounds remorseful, but she's so out of touch now and it's a bit of an ick. Also seems so insincere given it has been deleted, and she always deletes her apologies. Why did she delete the apology? I imagine she deleted the apology because she probably thought everybody's seen it now, and she didn't want it like being the first thing people see when they go to her page. Like, it doesn't need to be part of her branding, I suppose. This person saying her apology was good, but all they could see was the diamonds dripping from her hands. Yeah, she also had like big diamond rings on all her fingers, as well as the Rolex and the Cartier bangle. Moana and Maria have been reunited at the tennis. Yeah, well, potentially. I'll address that now because I'm wondering if this was like a paid thing that they like a paid obligation that they had to fulfill prior to, well, they are choosing to fulfill it prior to announcing their breakup because they knew they had to fulfill it. Because this is what happened when Mo broke up with Bella, her ex. They had a Pandora Valentine's Day campaign, and yeah, everyone's like, are they together, are they not together? Then they posted this campaign, and then shortly after they admitted that they had broken up. So I'm wondering if something like that's going on with Maria, because they were posting very much separate things over Christmas and New Year's. Mo got some tattoos, and she was explaining that they were to signify like the end of an era. Maria has been in like a wellness retreat. So yeah, they're very much giving breakup vibes. Also, Maria has changed her hair colour, which is always a clear sign in influencer world. But yeah, then at the Australian Open, they've both posted some, I believe it's a paid ad because they've both tagged Australian Open and they've both posted photos of each other. So yeah, who really knows what's going on there? I guess we'll have to watch this space. Okay, the next story is Chloe Fisher. Sorry, I feel really conscious of my shorts now. Maybe I need to pull them down. I need to change my posture. Okay, Chloe Fisher. This week, she has been criticised for saying that the LA fires are the most heartbreaking thing that she has ever seen. She explained that the situation is close to home for her, unlike Gaza, in which she is uneducated and didn't want to share anything that might be untrue. So yeah, she has historically not mentioned anything about Gaza or promoted any awareness or GoFundMes or anything for it. And now she is addressing why she is sharing the LA fires, but she hasn't addressed Gaza, and that is her reasoning. This is a tricky one, in my opinion, because she's damned if she does and damned if she doesn't. It's one of those situations where if she did share about it, people would be saying, oh, well, it's not going to make a difference, and oh, she's only sharing about it because she doesn't want to get cancelled. But then when she doesn't share about it, people are like, oh, she should be using her platform to campaign for good. And then when she does campaign for good by sharing about the LA fires, they're like, oh, well, what about Gaza? Why didn't you campaign for that? So I just feel like she can't win anyway. And this post, it's don't.be.like Bob. It's an account, and they shared it, and there were over 160 comments when I last checked, and it was just stacks on Chloe. It was, a lot of people mentioning things that she said that were heartbreaking about the LA fires, such as like embryos being destroyed at fertility clinics. And then they were comparing that to like Gaza, where Israel blew up nitrogen tanks and destroyed more than 4,000 embryos, along with 1,000 more specimens of sperm and unfertilized eggs last year. I don't know if this is true, but this is just what someone's saying. So yeah, there's a lot of depth to this conversation, but I don't know what the answer is. I don't know if Chloe sharing about Gaza would even make any sort of difference, but I know that obviously everybody sharing about Gaza makes a very big difference, and she could contribute to that in some way. Maybe she has donated privately, we don't know. But she did start up a GoFundMe account for the LA fires. She does spend half of her year living in LA because her husband, Fisher, the DJ, he does a lot of DJing in America. And yeah, so she started up her own campaign. She wants to raise 50,000 Australian dollars and donate 30% to animals and the other 70% to people. And she donated $5,000 herself, which I thought was pretty amazing. Some would say that's not enough. Some would say it's amazing. I think it seems like a pretty significant amount. I get that they're really rich, but she didn't have to donate anything. So, that was really good of her. The brand Sabi, they've been actually mentioned in my lives recently. They donated $10,000, which was huge. Another person, David Hagewood, don't know who that is. He donated $5,000, and then Chloe's best friend and ex-co-host of Darling Shine podcast, she donated $1,000. So yeah, they have in total, or Chloe has in total raised $54,000 so far, and her goal is $100,000. All right, what are people saying here? Oh, okay, I'll get to that one after I talk about Chloe. Yeah, we don't need any education from Chloe Fisher, of all people, thanks. Yeah, that's it. Like, when I'm wanting to know stuff about Gaza, I'm not looking to Chloe Fisher to educate me. That's a really good point. Chloe does not have to talk on all social issues. That pile-on was horrible. Yeah, it was horrible. I can't imagine it's achieving anything, really, anything positive. Why does Chloe need to post anything about Gaza? She doesn't have to post anything about the fires, but here she is raising money for strangers and families and kids. Leave the poor woman alone. Yeah, that is definitely true. The story she shared, though, of her family donating to African poverty was such an ick, though. I didn't see this, so Chloe has blocked me, but I was told that amongst all of this criticism, she then shared that she sponsors a child in Africa. I think that's what it was, that she sponsors a child in Africa, as though to say, oh, well, it's not just to LA that I'm donating to. I do also donate to other causes, but I just don't talk about it. I think that's what she was trying to prove. I'm not sure. Or maybe like I do donate to poor people as well as the wealthy LA people. Not that everyone in LA whose home was burnt down was rich. Like, that's obviously just what we're hearing about, all the rich celebrities. But yeah, there's a lot of people who absolutely are not rich. And we're hearing that a lot of the celebrities weren't even insured because the insurance pulled the insurance a few months prior to the fires, knowing that it was like an accident waiting to happen. Not everything is about Gaza, someone has written. Ooh, okay, I'll have to get back to that one as well. I didn't think there was any issue about her raising awareness for the LA fires, though. Well, yeah, these people who are stacking on her about Gaza have made everything an issue, I suppose. LA is another home to her. I remember when the fires all through the Blue Mountains, I felt the same because that's close to home for me and I wanted to help as much as I could as well. Exactly, that's true. Like when there were major fires a few years ago in Australia, everybody in Australia really felt like they wanted to help, and yeah, that's a really good thing. Ex-co-host, I thought Chloe was just taking a step back. Yes, so she's no longer going to be the co-host. She's just going to be behind the scenes. I think it's great she has kept quiet on something that she openly said she doesn't know enough about. That's part of the problem, though. Like, she's choosing not to educate herself on Gaza. So she's saying, like, these LA fires have only just happened and she's happy to share about it. This is not just about Chloe, sorry. This is just in general. Like, saying, oh, I'm not going to share about it because I don't know enough. It's kind of like, will know enough. Like, just choose to know enough. Educate yourself. Do you know what I mean? Like, we've got Google now. We can very much educate ourselves very easily about things. I don't agree that you have to share everything if you don't want to. Like, I don't care that she's not sharing about Gaza, but I think that saying you're not educated about a topic is just saying you've chosen not to educate yourself about a topic. Oh, someone's saying here she's got 2 sponsor children and she has spoken about this prior on her podcast. People are saying, stop talking about Chloe. All right, I suppose everyone's wanting the 3rd topic. I'll just step in here, though. There were some questions about Tammy and Matt at the tennis. Where is that one? What happened at the tennis with Tammy and Matt? He's still in Melbourne and she's taken off both rings and looks really upset. Honestly, not this again. Like, this whole wearing your rings, not wearing your rings. Like, Tammy does this all the time, and I just don't know. Like, I feel like she's in the spotlight and she shouldn't be doing this because it's so obvious when they're fighting, isn't it? It's an awkward one. I haven't heard anything until now. But, yeah, I didn't see them today. Not that I would. They're probably in some, like, private marquee thing. And the other thing that a few people are saying here is that Rosie and Harry, their relationship isn't real and that they have broken up, but they're just about to go on a new reality show. That was going to be one of my headliners tonight, but then I realised there's much better things to talk about. But yeah, there is a new show coming up called The Journey Live. It's hosted by Josh Moss, who used to be on Love Island Australia, season 1. And he also hosted like the after show, I think. Was it called After Sun? Not sure, but I'm sure you all know who Josh Moss is. And yeah, he's hosting it. And the 6 contestants revealed. Harry and Rosie are one of the contestants, even though it's 2 people. They are one of the contestants. And this show looks really good. Like, I love that they're making an influencer TV show. I think it's going to be on like TikTok and Instagram and YouTube, I believe they said. And it's going to be like The Amazing Race crossed with Survivor. I believe that us as the viewers get to like vote people in and out. But yeah, if it's a fake relationship, that wouldn't be the first time there's been a fake relationship for publicity reasons and status and social media clout and business reasons, I suppose. All right, so I suppose the story that has been the biggest this week, I'm going to get to that now. Whoa, I've been talking for 20 minutes. I need to shut up. Okay, the last story is obviously the ex-influencer who had over 1 million followers on TikTok, and she has now been charged with some allegations against her for allegedly torturing her infant child, which we all watched play out in real time. And wow, yeah, I'm sure nobody even has words to describe how horrendous this is. Like this, I don't even know where to start. So yeah, like the police have released a report of like the allegations that they're making against her. So it's over a 2-month period. It's alleged that the woman disregarded medical advice and went to lengths to obtain unauthorised medicines, including old medicines for a different person available in their home. So I have been told this is Valium, but there is no proof of that at all. Not sure if that's proven. Later investigations are alleged to have uncovered the woman carefully concealed her continued efforts to administer the unauthorised medicines until the matter was detected and reported to police by medical staff from a hospital in Brisbane South while the child was admitted. So yeah, that's basically saying that while the child was admitted in hospital, the mum of the child concealed her efforts to continue administering these unauthorised medicines. And while the child was being subject to immense distress and pain, it is alleged the woman filmed and posted videos of the child. So yeah, that's a really interesting point. So the podcast, which is called Poisoned, ? It's by Mickey Fisher and Jay Walkerton. I was on the 2nd episode of their podcast actually, because I feel like the way they're doing things is really good. Like they're really fighting for children and like the lack of privacy that children have on social media and things. Like I really like the way they've done their podcast and their investigation. And yeah, they mentioned on their podcast that this is a really interesting point because a lot of influencers do this, that they film their child in immense distress and pain and then they post it on their social media to millions of followers. It's an interesting one because if this influencer gets charged with this, I wonder if this will open up more cases of this happening. I don't know, that's an interesting one. It is alleged the content produced exploited the child and was used to entice monetary donations and online followers. So that was the GoFundMe that was set up and raised over 60,000 Australian dollars, of which that money has now been refunded by GoFundMe. I have been reading into it today, and apparently the family did get the donations, but GoFundMe have, I don't know if they've chosen to refund it to people or if like they've been ordered to by the police maybe, because it's like proceeds of crime. But yeah, the people who donated money, someone actually emailed me that they had got like the email to say they're going to be getting the refund. So yeah, that is definitely happening, which is great for the people who were duped, I suppose, but also doesn't fix the fact that this family did profit off this crime. So on October 15th, medical staff reported harm against the child to detectives. Police took immediate action to protect the child. And yeah, so as of now, I suppose the children are in protection or custody, as you might call it. And the influencer in question, she has been taken into, I've got it written here. Where is it? Brisbane Watch House. She's in custody at the Brisbane Watch House. Her first court hearing was today, and her lawyer is asking for the mum to be protected due to concerns for her safety in prison, which I think is a very valid thing. Like when you commit a crime against a child, I don't think that would be seen against very favourably by the other prisoners. So yeah, she would be wanting some sort of protection in prison. Interestingly, the police did a media talk where they spoke to the media and media could ask questions, and the Poison podcast host Jay Walkerton, he was at that, and he asked quite a lot of questions which I thought were really good ones. So we now know that the baby in question was admitted to the hospital for a genuine illness. So previously, I guess a lot of speculation was that the mum had made the baby so sick that she had to be hospitalised, but now the police are saying she was in hospital for a genuine illness and that the mum made her more sick. So I'm not sure at this point, like maybe the tumours on the child's brain were real. Not sure what was real, what wasn't real, but yeah, she was admitted for a real reason. And interestingly, the dad is not a person of interest. So yeah, I'm not sure how he's gotten away with that completely. Like, how would you prove complete innocence in this situation when the dad wasn't even working? So I'm guessing he was at home and around a lot. But yeah, I mean, we've just got to trust the law is right with that one, that the dad is not a person of interest. And yeah, that's everything I've got on that one. So I'll go through the comments now. I'm sure there'll be a lot telling me not to talk about this, but yeah, that's that. Oh, sorry, there's a lot of comments. I'm trying to scroll back. Please talk about it. Yeah, okay. All right. Oh, people are still talking about Tammy and Matt, okay. People are saying that Tammy's going to block him again. Oh, I really need to catch up on Matt and Tammy. People are saying they were fighting in Melbourne and she's been crying. Wow. Oh, wow. Yeah, there are a lot of people logged on tonight. Oh, the mum in question might end up with her coffee machine in jail now. Yeah, well, true. So there was famously a video where the mum was crying about her daughter's medical issues and saying, you know, it's really bad and it's so sad. And then she just switched and was like, oh, I really need a coffee, but I don't have a coffee machine. And everyone was like, oh, okay, that's a weird thing to say at the end of that video. And like clearly she's sort of, you know how influencers do that thing where they're like, oh, I need coffee machine recommendations, and really they're wanting a free coffee machine. That's the sort of vibe it gave. So yeah, hopefully she'll get one in prison. If that happens, I mean, we don't know if this person will end up in prison. Oh, I'll have to come back to that one. Sorry, everyone's wanting to know more about this issue, so I feel sick just thinking back to these videos. Someone's saying, yeah, for me personally, the video where I started to think, oh, something's not right here, and then it came out a few days later, was the haircut video. So as this poor child was being wheeled in for like an exploratory brain surgery. That's what we were told. Who knows if that was true. The mum filmed herself cutting the daughter's hair and saying, oh, it's baby's first haircut. And she was like holding the hair and the scissors and was like pulling a sad face for the camera. And I was like, oh, this is not right. Something is weird here. But influencers do weird things. So I didn't think anything sinister, but I was like, oh, a bit ick. But yeah, we now know it was quite sinister. Someone's asking when will it be on YouTube? Straight after this. Okay. Oh, someone's wondering if I had other theories. I do have a theory about a previous medical condition that this woman claims to have had. So she claims that she was previously pregnant years ago, and it was one of those pregnancies where you don't show at all. And she documented this and was like, oh, you know, it's crazy. Like, I'm not even showing that I'm pregnant. And then, trigger warning here, she posted that she had a stillborn baby. And then, yeah, the Poisoned podcast, they were mentioning that a medical professional saw the photo and was like, that's not the sort of... Oh, I don't really want to say too much because it's a bit yuck for, like, people to listen to. But, yeah, like a medical professional was saying this doesn't really add up. And I was thinking all along that, yeah, this whole stillborn story doesn't add up. And then it was like national news at the time that after her stillborn baby, she fell pregnant 7 weeks later. And I'm like, I don't think this pregnancy was real in the first place. And I also don't believe this person claims that they had stage 5 cancer. And I also don't believe that that was real either. So I'm thinking that there's like a history of lying about medical issues for attention. But that's just my theory. Maybe these things were true. I hope they were true, but yeah, there's just so many layers to this. People also asking me, why would this influencer do this? And to me, the simple answer is for fame and for money. I mean, with fame comes money, but I think fame and attention, I feel like that's always been the goal. Like with those 2 previous medical issues that weren't really issues. There's also a story in the news about this couple saving somebody from drowning. And I mean, I assume that one's true because there would have been witnesses and things. But again, maybe it's not true. I just don't know what to believe anymore from this family. Mental illness, that is definitely a possible cause as well. People are writing that in here. People are saying that it was the coffee machine video. That's what triggered in their mind that something was off with this woman. Lots of people who harm kids do not have mental illness. They are just vile humans. That's probably true as well. Once she has been convicted, then we can discuss this further. As there's a lot of speculation and a lot using the wrong terminology, she's been arrested and charges laid once she's been convicted. We can speak openly. Yeah, that's very true. Like at this point, we don't know the truth. We don't know if these things definitely did or didn't happen. And it was the same with like the Andre Rebello case. Yeah, it was all just allegations that he had murdered his mum, but now he's been found guilty of that. We have to, I guess, agree with that. Like, yeah, there is no question. But yeah, we'll see what happens with Alana. We'll see what she is sentenced to, what she is not sentenced to. Oh, God, I just said her name. I'm really not supposed to say. I mean, yeah, I might just cut that bit out. Do these children have a father looking out for them? Yes. So the police have said that the father is not involved in the crimes. Can we talk about her stage 5 kidney disease needing an organ donation cured by God? Yeah, so that's what I was talking about before. She does claim that the stage 5 kidney disease was cured by God. This person saying here, the police have said there's no evidence that the dad was involved, but that doesn't mean that he will get the kids back. Yeah, so the dad went on Snapchat recently saying that he's preparing the house for the return of the kids, and everyone's like, oh, okay, so the kids are going to him. But then he got back online and clarified, no, there's no set date that they're coming back. I just am assuming they're going to come back. So yeah, no update on that one yet. The woman's bail hearing is set for January 28th. She's being held in custody until then. I was hearing that there was no bail. She's not allowed to have bail. But yeah, this is the thing with these online things, and same with everything I'm saying, like take it with a grain of salt. Like people write so many comments that aren't true, and I'm sure I've said things in this live that are not quite accurate. Like, it is one of those tricky things. I'm glad the public has stopped using her name. Yeah, so the reason why the public can't use the name is because it's to avoid identifying the victim of the crime, who is a minor. So that is why. It's to protect the victim. It's not to protect the influencer. As a mother, I couldn't ever imagine doing this to my child. Yes, I'm sure even as people who aren't mothers could never imagine that. It is just so sick. Allegedly, the dad worked FIFO or something and was away a lot. Yes, so he did previously, but as of more recently, we only know this from the GoFundMe page, so he was not working due to medical conditions that he wishes to keep private, which everybody was like, oh, that's a bit ironic given that you're sharing your whole family's medical conditions and issues on the internet, and yet you won't tell us what's wrong with the dad. So yeah, that ruffled a few feathers, but to me, I assume he's like on work cover and at home. I don't know that. He could have hurt himself mowing the lawn. Like, I just don't know. This person's saying that I'm spreading lies and that the child wasn't in hospital for general illness. No, I did not say she was in there for general illness. If I did, that is not correct. It's that she was in there for a genuine illness. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. Dad was unwell for 12 months before the child got sick, so he was around. Okay. Again, I don't know if that's true. The 12 months thing may or may not be true. Who were her supporters, that blonde chick? I'm guessing that's Alyssa. So there's that TikToker, Alyssa. She was very close with the woman in question, and Alyssa has been posting that this has just been horrendous for her to hear about her friend and knowing that like her children were around this woman. And yeah, I can't even imagine. Like, for us, it's crazy to hear this story, and it's so horrible, and we can't even imagine. And like, imagine that was one of your close friends. Like, it's so horrendous for this influencer, for Alyssa. Yeah, a lot of people are sus on the dad, but as I said, the police have confirmed that he is clear. Oh yeah, a lot of people are agreeing with me about the haircut. Oh my gosh, there's so many comments here. I just don't know if I can even get through them all. Oh, quite a few people have said this, that there's been body cam footage that's been released by the police where they arrest this woman and they knock on the door and it doesn't look like it doesn't look like she's expecting them because she's in her pajamas. And a lot of people have asked, is she finishing her skincare while the police are speaking to her? I don't believe she's doing skincare. I believe she's wiping away tears. So her face is blurred, so all we can see is like hands going like this. So it looks like she's like washing her face or something, but I think what she's doing is this. That's just my guess though. How can we see the videos? Well, I guess on the Queensland Police Instagram or Facebook. Maybe Google them. That's probably the best way. Oh, this person's saying that they feel like maybe she induced herself with drugs to cause a stillbirth. I mean, we'll never know, will we? Oh, this person's saying here that there were videos of her with her other kids saying that they're so sleepy and sleeping for 20 hours. Well, yeah, I'm wondering, this isn't part of the allegations or the charges or anything, but yeah, maybe she was doing the same thing to her other kids. Again, we'll never know. Did you see the DMs Tammy Weller put up? This TikTok mum copied another person's story word for word and the timeline. Yeah, so Tammy shared, a person had written to Tammy saying, I was messaging the influencer and telling her all about my story, and then she copied my story. So yeah, she'd been copying someone else's story. That's how she knew all the terminology and everything to use. Yes, very good point here. We need to maybe think about who we give views and follows to, aka people that exploit their kids. Yeah, well, that's it. Maybe we need to stop following people that are exploiting their kids like this. But then it's one of those things where, you know, like true crime podcasts and stuff, they're so listened to. Like everybody listens to them because it's just so intriguing. And yeah, then this is like fueling people to do bad things, I suppose. Munchausen by proxy has existed for a long time, but social media adds another complex layer. Yeah, it does. That's if she does have Munchausen by proxy. Again, that is not confirmed. It's giving Belle Gibson. Was that her name? Yes, that was her name. And yes, it is giving Belle Gibson. But in a different way as well. I'm pretty sure you can apply for bail on the day you're arrested and charged. It sounds like she may have been refused already. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Yeah, she was refused bail by police. Oh, gosh. Wasn't there other times where her children had slept for long periods, like the baby? Yeah, they were. Oh, people are saying here that she can't be named because it will affect a jury if it goes to trial, and that's not true. The reason why we can't say her name is because it would identify the victim. And also, this person's charges have not been confirmed yet. At this point, they're just charges. They need to go to court and be made guilty or innocent, I suppose. So, yeah, you sort of can't identify somebody who hasn't been hasn't been confirmed charged. I don't know. The terminology is weird to me. But I guess at this point she's innocent until proven guilty. Is that maybe right? I don't know. Oh, the police have said they didn't have evidence that would suffice for court. That raises questions. I don't know. I don't know how it all works. It's all been a lot of jargon to compute. It was word for word what the police said in the press conference. They didn't have evidence that would convince the court on the father. Not that they didn't have any evidence. Oh, okay, yeah. So the police are saying they didn't have evidence for the dad. Not that they don't have any evidence in general. Oh my gosh. I don't know if these comments are ever going to end. I'm so glad everyone is so interested in influencers. But yeah, it's a real shame that I don't want to be talking about this stuff. Like, it's crazy. It's so crazy. Like, when I started this account, I never would have imagined that this is what I'd be talking about on a Friday night. It is just so crazy. It also sucks to be her because the courts are so backlogged. Yeah, I wonder how that works. Like, does she go to prison and start serving a sentence that hasn't even been sentenced yet, and then that time might count towards it if she is sentenced? This person's saying that she'll claim mental health, and claim mental health to get out of the charges, and if so, it would make this person very mad. No more airtime for this monster. Let's speak about Abby. All right, I will quickly talk about Abby. So yeah, she was harassed at work yesterday. So she was working at the Australian Open, and some TikToker came up to her and was like, "Oh, cuz, like, who are you?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm some high kicker." Like, apparently she was just being like funny, like, "I'm a professional high kicker." And he's like, "Oh, no, you're not," and was just like being really rude and gross to her. And she reposted it, and yeah, he's deleted the video. And oh, it just makes me so mad that someone would do that to her. Like, I know that she gives people a lot of criticism online, but it's very different to harassing someone in their workplace. I know that both are probably not great, but also, I don't know. I'm just so sad for her. That would be really horrible and quite scary, probably. Oh yeah, someone here is saying that I'm talking about this court case so that I get traction too. Honestly, I don't do it for traction. Like, people aren't subscribing to me because I'm talking about this. Like, that's the only traction that matters, in that that's the only way I get paid. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is all just because I love talking about influencers. That's why I talk about this stuff. And yeah, I've noticed that it's not really talked about by other influencer sort of update accounts. yeah, I know that everybody is talking about this and everybody wants someone to talk about it, and I'm just volunteering to be that person, I suppose. Is Lily Brown and the Jagger girls friends now? They're both in Bali for M. Davies' Hens party. No, they're not. So that is very interesting. They are all friends with M. Davies. And what's the saying that a friend to all is a friend to none? So where do M. Davies' loyalties really lie? Because Lily Brown and Lucy and Nikki, they are not friends. My theory is that Lucy was hooking up with Jerome after he broke up with Lily. That's my theory based on like what the girls have all said in their podcasts. And then like Lucy did like a history of her dating since Maddie, and I was like, okay, I think that's the final piece of the puzzle. I think that is why they are no longer friends. So yeah, I don't think they'll be talking at the Hens, but I'm sure they'll remain civil for the sake of M. Okay, and the other thing that was asked here was Sam Guggenheimer and Izzy Armitage, are they friends? Sorry, I just saw something. Yeah, so Sam Guggenheimer and Izzy Armitage, are they friends? So I just don't know, because it didn't seem like they were for quite a few weeks. And then now they're back to posting together, and they're both just like, oh, you know, just because we don't see each other for a few weeks doesn't mean that we're beefing. Like, it's so annoying that the internet just assumes. It's like, well, it's not that we're just assuming. Like, just tell us. Like, just post together or just come on and address the rumours. So I don't know. I think that they were beefing and maybe they're okay now. Because, yeah, just from what they're posting. That's my answer, I suppose. Oh, someone's saying here the Australian Open attracts heaps of bogans. I didn't notice that today, but I was too worried about my daughter spewing, I suppose. All right, well, thank you so much for joining me, and I'm going to post this to YouTube now. And DM me if you've got any questions. My DMs are super backlogged, so yeah, if you want me to answer your question and I haven't, keep messaging me and it like bumps it to the top. But yeah, I will talk to you all soon. Thank you. Bye.